All right. Second time's the charm.
We had such good banter.
I thought so too.
It was really good.
I know.
I was sitting there going, "This is good. I'm enjoying this."
Now we got to do it all again. We got to start out with new banter.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
No. We can get to that.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the
Nerdbuzzed.
podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. I love that Jack did it again. It's all his fault.
It is.
All his fault.
It is clearly all Jack's fault.
We would have sat here for another 30 minutes.
Oh, we would have finished the entire episode.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not had anything.
No, I know.
I mean,
And-
maybe, there's a keyboard right next to you guys, so one of you guys could have hit the stop button for all I know.
Yeah, except for we didn't.
I don't know about that.
Should I eliminate the possibility and turn it off?
Oh, yep. It's powered
I think it
down.
already was off. Yeah, it totally was off.
I don't
We didn't
know
do it.
about
It's all
that.
Jack's fault.
I think
Anyway.
there's a conspiracy here.
I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. With me, as always, every single
Jeremiah
episode,
Johnson.
and he's back. Totally going to be banned to
Jack
your camp
Hughes.
forever.
My brain is
He's earning his
working too
paycheck.
good right now.
Yeah,
We've been
he's
doing
totally earning his paycheck.
3 podcasts. I want to go to bed, and I have to go to work in an hour. So, I think that I'm doing an excellent job.
We were commending him about growing up.
I
And now
know.
here he is about bitching about growing up.
I know. And when we did this the first time, I totally really tried to make an effort to thank you guys
I know.
for putting up with me the whole
Thanks,
time.
Marcus.
And
That scale that I was talking about,
Yeah.
it's definitely tipping that way.
no, it's too bad. Do I need to do something?
No.
Okay.
No,
You
no,
don't
no,
want me to
we're
try to
okay with
balance
this.
it out?
You can shut the episode off so that I can...
Yeah. You want me to shut it
Whatever,
off?
dude.
We'll have a 2-minute episode
Yeah.
where Jack stopped it and then where I stopped it.
So we're continuing to drink the Kirkland beer here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is pretty good. Please go like, share, and subscribe to nerdbuzz.com. And
Where you can watch every episode of Nerdbuzzed 100% free, as opposed to...
Any other percentage free?
Nice. He's the new monkey in the room. So, this episode, of course, thank you guys. I really do mean it for putting up with me all year.
Thanks for putting up with me.
Thanks everybody out there for putting up with me and these guys and Jack.
thanks
we
for
all
letting me come back for the
appreciate
end
it.
of the year.
Yeah, you're welcome back.
It's amazing what happens when it's not a live episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it's live for us.
We didn't know we were going to do 4 episodes today.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? It's only supposed to be
It was
3,
a-
which, by the way, is all you guys are getting.
It was
Yeah.
a practice run. The lost episode. The lost 1 minute, 19-second episode.
Yeah,
No, the
which
last part is the 20 minutes after that.
More like... Yeah, it was like 20 minutes.
29.68
Yeah.
or 58.
Actually, wait, it was only like... Oh, never mind, it was. Okay. Never mind.
This is our this is basically our last episode for 2018. So we do want to take a moment to just really thank everybody for watching and following us.
Thanks,
and
Dad.
please, thank you, Dad.
Yeah, thanks Mick, thanks Dad, thanks Gary. I mean, those are our biggest followers, and
Yeah.
we really appreciate you guys. And everybody else who checks in and watches. Marcus's dad, he's come in a few times.
Tam.
Yeah, Tam, thank you, and we really appreciate it. It's awesome having you guys.
It totally it really does make our day. We sleep better at night because of it. We really really appreciate it. It makes it validates it a little
does.
bit, which is worth it. We're not the only people watching our own show, right? Listening to just ourselves.
Which is kind of weird doing at work. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
especially when somebody else is in my microphone.
What are you talking about?
At least he wasn't sick then.
I know, right?
Maybe
I
it
tried to
was.
switch. See, again, we tried to keep it balanced because I tried to use your microphone instead of him, so it's like it's all messed up.
I know.
This is a dirty mic.
You
Don't want to know where these mouths have been. We've seen him drinking soda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Back on that again, you guys.
that's not going away. You're gonna hear that the rest of the
Get
year.
your minds out of the gutter.
So let's start off again with Jay, with your, I guess, least favorite. Is that how we?
Yeah,
say it?
so that's what I was gonna say. We're doing anime. This is our anime episode.
Yep, we're
This
gonna
is
do
our
anime
episode.
TV.
So I really want to start this one off with how we've been doing everyone up to this now with our best.
Yeah.
I really want to start this one off with the worst because it is by far the most impactful,
Yes.
which is every freaking show I chose this year.
Yep. What was the worst one? I can't remember the name. What was the
Oh
name?
my god, you guys are dicks.
It had,
You
it
guys
had
are
probably
a
such a-holes.
and a guy, man sword.
Yeah.
It was this dude with
Was
a
it
sword.
a boy?
Get a-
Was it a guy?
Yeah, it was a guy. It was a
It was
guy.
Okay.
With a
a
sword.
sword.
Was it a
Oh, it was
blade?
sword guy. You're right.
Oh,
Sword
thanks.
guy.
Thanks for
Assholes.
narrowing that down.
No, I can guarantee that Devilman Crybaby was worse than that. I'll watch Sword Guy. I'll watch a couple episodes, and I'll cross-reference. But I'm pretty sure that Devilman will be worse.
What? No way.
Devilman.
I like
sucked.
Devilman.
Well, then
Are
you're
you
wrong
kidding?
And you're stupid. Maybe that's why the episode stopped. Is because the computer was offended that you would say that.
The dock scene where he gets the crap beat out of him is the best part of Devilman.
Well, the one where he cries.
I
100
actually
times?
really like Devilman. I don't know why you guys hate it so much.
God,
I thought it was great.
disappointed.
It was great.
Anyway.
But your actual, aside from all the horrible animes you recommended this year,
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
did you recommend the one that you liked?
Yes, I did. The Megalobox. Megalobox is by far, in a way, my favorite one this year. And solely for nostalgic purposes, which is the reason they brought it out to begin with.
Yeah, and I think that it was so obvious right away when you watched that show because it was new, but it was like it showed up new, but it like had this layer of dust already, right? Like it was so it just felt worn in already when from the get go. I absolutely loved that about it.
Yep.
It's one of the best like tribute animes, I guess.
Yes, and to be clear, it's for the Champion Joe.
Yeah,
is what,
it was like
what they're tributing to.
and it was some sort of
50th anniversary.
50th. Damn. So before our time.
Yeah.
Because we're old, but we're
I think
not that
it was
old.
50. Look it up, Jack.
Megalobox.
let me
What
do that.
anniversary?
But I think
Do
I
something
think
useful. Don't hit any buttons over there and mess it up while you're doing it.
I think
Yeah,
it's I think it's 50th anniversary though.
Yeah, I remember it was an anniversary. It was totally solid.
Well, because what would that be? 70 something would be 70, 80, 90, 2000. Yeah, it'd be 50th anniversary.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it felt like that. It felt like a tribute, without necessarily just
50 years.
nice, without necessarily just like paying tribute to the thing. It included a lot of that awesome nostalgia stuff, but still kind of put this twist on it and sort of made it new.
Yeah.
But none of it was like abrasive or offensive to the original material.
Not at all. And they even slowed the pacing of the show down, not as much as the old animes were then, but they slowed it down from what it is now.
Yeah.
And really paid homage to the storytelling of the way they did it then. And I really appreciated that. I super appreciated that.
Yeah, I really came away from that one.
And this is coming from like my nostalgic background of the Macross and of the Champion Joes and of the Voltron, all those older animes.
Yeah.
So
It gave me this instant nostalgic feel for it when I had never even seen it. Right away from episode 1. I loved that about it. And all those kind of the older anime classic feels, it did a lot of those things. But still, again, kind of felt like shiny and new. It was this really awesome balance that they did with it. I really enjoyed that one. What do you think, Jack, is your favorite anime?
Space Dandy. Space Dandy was really good. I didn't get it at first because it was. Hi,
My wife's
Kristen.
leaving. Have fun at your concert. We're gonna talk nerdy stuff and drink beer.
and get something to eat
Yeah,
because we drank a lot of beer.
No, but I didn't really get what Space Dandy was at first. Like, I thought it was just going to be kind of run-of-the-mill plot-driven anime, but it wasn't, and I didn't like it. But then when I thought about it, it reminded me a lot of like old kind of Saturday morning cartoons, like Dexter's Laboratory, where like in one episode Dexter might die, or another episode he might like turn into a chicken, or like in Billy and Mandy, there's one where everyone turns into spiders. And then their mom is going to, like, eat them. And it's just like, what? What is this? And that's the point, is that it's, like, weird. And it doesn't it doesn't make any sense.
As much as I hate to agree with you, Jack,
you.
I have to
Yeah.
on this. I
You got
really
a big
do.
brain.
No, that's not why I'm agreeing with you.
Massive brain.
Go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, go away, please. Thank you. No, I do have to agree with you though, because it was. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it when we first watched it.
Yeah, you were not as into it. Like when we
No.
did our review episode, I think that's a good way to say it. You didn't hate it, but you definitely didn't like it.
No, I mean there was things I liked about it. I love the nostalgic style animation.
Yeah.
I really liked some of the stylized stuff that they did. Some of the out there stuff that they did, I liked it, but it didn't seem cohesive to me or any work at all. After not watching it and then going back and watching it again, and this is like probably 4 months plus of time with not watching anything, and then going back and doing it, it has gone up. It has moved up. It is way up there now in me for my level. It's not the top, far from the top, but it's definitely a worth to see.
Yeah.
It's an honorable mention, definitely.
I think during our last 20 minutes, I think
We said that we had some really good animes this year.
Oh, totally, we did. And some of them, again, when we have the ones that we've already seen, it's kind of weird to to judge them. I think because I already have this personal relationship with it, kind of, right?
That's where we were with Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
how do we score that one? Because
Yeah.
I mean, that's a basis in Ninja Scroll. I mean, that's a basis in which we compare everything to.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, even if it meets its own standard that we've set for it now, it might not. But
There's a personal history.
Yeah, exactly.
right?
We can never say no.
It's hard to take
Dragon
that
Ball
element
Z.
out of it. Yeah, and
We can never say.
And I still say, even though I absolutely love Dragon Ball and Z and everything about it, it is never going to be the one I would ever recommend somebody watches first.
Anymore.
No, even to begin with. Like, if anybody's ever curious about anime, it's never the one that I would be like, oh, you got to watch DBZ.
Because
I would
anime
never
is
say that.
different now.
It's
Yeah.
such a commitment. Like, it needs to be
Yeah.
somewhat discovered and have that be part of the appreciation and
It's a long, it's a big
yeah,
show.
it's like it's too much to just be like, trust me, you'll like it, and just do it. You got to kind of warm up to it. Which
Was
was
yours?
Jack's favorite. Was totally
Yeah,
Space Dandy.
was
Yeah,
Space Dandy.
Space
Was my Megalobox was mine, and what's yours?
My favorite is Initial D with a close Space Dandy. On the in our last 20 minutes, I said Space Dandy kind of reminded me of Scooby Doo a little bit, but I think I would sum it up as, and I think maybe I said this on the show, it's more of like a Hanna-Barbera anime.
Yes,
Hmm.
That's what it reminds
very
me of.
very good way of putting it.
Yeah, you get all the Hanna-Barbera world in this one anime because you get each episode is this show, and this one's this show, and this one's that show, right? You get wacky races in that one episode, and there are Scooby Doo episodes, and I love that about it. But for me,
And I love Hanna-Barbera, so
yeah, right.
I mean, yeah, my handle's Baba Booey.
Yeah. For me, the one that did take the cake was Initial D.
Which I still, it just shocks me so much, but that's okay. It's good.
Yeah. I
It's
just
good.
wasn't ready, right? And I think last year it was Death Note. That was my favorite. And I
Yeah.
think that was another one that you were like, you should check this out. I think you'd like it. And I just wasn't ready for it. But there are things about Initial D that I felt that initial just nostalgic love for it when I started watching it. And it's so classically awesome and cheesy and horrible.
And the farther you get on, and the more times it's been sold to different studios, the worse it gets. But yes,
yeah, and it's so good. And it's actually both Space Dandy and Initial D are ones I went through and I started watching again. Like I've seen most of Space Dandy again and most of Initial D again, and there's way more Initial D episodes.
Yeah.
But I almost watched that all over again because I burned through it in the first part of the month that we were going to review it, and I was like, well, I should do a refresher, and I almost watched it all again.
I'm probably on my 5th or 6th watch through for Initial D.
Yeah, it is really good. There's so many awesome anime cliche things that happen,
And
that's all around a car.
As much as I hated him to begin with, I love the side character.
The goofball, the Krillin guy.
He's grown on me so much as we've gone on. And he's grown on me as much as I hate him, kind of like Jack. But, no. No, I'm just saying, he's like, he's so annoying, but you watch him grow even.
Yeah.
As it goes. And
Again, just like Jack.
exactly.
Aww.
But no, but seriously, like you watch him, it's like he's trying so hard to fit in.
Yeah.
And he wants to be this badass, and he's talking himself up way more than he ever could be. And then you see him get his first car, and it's like you see him skid the rear end out of the end, and he's like, oh! And it's just like this, like, oh my god, I did it type thing. And it's such a garbage maneuver he did.
Yeah.
Such a garbage maneuver. But you can just see him like, oh my god, and then he's actually, it's growth. It's really, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Which I think the main character kind of suffers from.
Yes.
In the movie. Like, he is sort of that kind of Goku guy where it's just like this gift and nothing is a real chore and there isn't the struggle as much.
No, but he does question, which is something Goku never does.
Yeah. There was that episode
Goku doesn't
after
have
the
the
car.
capacity to do that.
After the car goes Super Saiyan, he does start to get it, and it does, like, you do get that growth out of him.
Yeah.
But I think it totally did. But again, it's that supporting cast, right?
Yeah.
Because I think supporting cast is so important in anime. It really, really is. I think in a lot of other kind of stuff, you can kind of skate around that a little bit, but anime, it's really, really important.
Itsuki.
Itsuki
Isn't that his...
Yeah, the goofball buddy of his.
Itsuki, yeah.
That it totally takes the cake for me. I agree. Space Dandy would be
You'd
my
love him.
second. Megalobox is right there. I like Devilman. I don't care what you guys say. And we did watch Champloo, which I love.
I love Champloo. I wanted to put that as my runner-up, but I couldn't because my personal connection to Initial D.
Yeah. Well, and I can't put that as my first one either because, again, that's kind of what I mean, I guess, maybe about it's hard to recommend Dragon Ball Z because for me, Champloo was one of those shows that I discovered along my journey of discovering anime, right? Like I just kind of stumbled across it and I started watching it and I did my classic give it 3 episodes, right?
Yep.
And right away it started to just kind of click for me and I just got more and more into it. And it totally has a Space Dandy feel. Like once you know, or maybe I should say Space Dandy has kind of a Champloo feel. Either way, vice versa. Once you know that going into it, it's really obvious and you can tell it's the same like director and published production studio and all that. It's totally the same team that made one that made the other. And
oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
remember that? We discovered that afterwards. Yep. And once you watch them both, it's like ding, instantly the light bulb's like, oh, duh.
The mushroom episode from Champloo totally gives that away. But
yeah. It's like, oh, suddenly I get it, right? And in both of them, they're always hungry. They're always looking for food. Like there's a lot of like similarities that come across in there. Totally. I for me, this was one of the looking back on it because I really when we went to do our best of, I was thinking of the animes and I was thinking, well, I liked Initial D and I kind of like this but I'm not sure what my favorite is. And then when I went back and looked at our episodes, I was like, wow, this was a pretty phenomenal year for the choices we made. There were some turds in there for sure, but
sorry,
really overall, I think the majority of them, they weren't just okay for me. They're totally sitting up there as like, if I had a personal library of animes, a lot of these would just be in there.
Some of them are for me.
Yeah. So I'm excited with this next year to get another anime and kind of dive into that again. I want to kind of get back to that old format and do some of those things. Same thing with the nerd play. So probably the toughest choice for me this year, easily for me, was TV.
I didn't watch any shows this year.
Really struggled.
I had no problem with my number one.
Really?
What was that?
Oh, Daredevil season 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. We saw Karen Page finally come back.
Yep.
Foggy kind of went pussy, and then came back at the end, but
he got laid though.
He did.
Yeah.
He really did, and I'm kind of jealous.
I give him some props for snagging the like the office bitch, right? And this like what I like that chick. And
was it the chick that he said he was like banging before and wanted them to work at that like bigger firm?
Yes, it is that chick.
It's like his old love interest or whatever, but yeah.
Wasn't he?
But he like owned her on the sofa and like good for you, Foggy,
yes.
right? For all the pudgy, awkward men out there, kudos to you, Foggy.
Yep. But yeah, like I said, he comes back around at the end, but the way he played his character early on, for how well he ended it with season 2 and the Punisher parts and all that stuff, how well Foggy did and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the way he comes into season 3, it didn't feel like the same Foggy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he ended that way. He definitely ended well. But I didn't care for him at the beginning, and it kind of was turning me off to the season initially.
Really?
Well, because I didn't care for Foggy at all in the first season. And,
me either.
And they built him up so well in the second season. And then the way he just became a pussy immediately, right away. Just like, okay, don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
And they brought him back. They brought him back well through the season. So you got to see him grow there and everything else. And I kind of felt the same way with Murdoch just crying over himself.
I got sick of him.
Yeah, no, he was crying over himself a lot. The only one that they went into their backstory and was like, wow, dude, this gal's really kind of badass and really has a reason for why she is what she is, was Karen.
Yeah.
They really developed Karen well in that and made sense. It really rounded out her character and rounded out why she's doing what she's doing.
I did like that part because in season 1, she's just kind of there. We never get that backstory. And I forgot about that, though, in the season 3, where they actually go before
like
that.
a backstory?
You get to see why did that all happen to her and how that all started. So I totally agree. I did really forgot about that, but I totally agree that is a solid point.
Yeah, they really brought the Karen Page as she made herself a strong character in season 2.
Yeah.
And then season 3, they really established why she went down that path and is what she is. And then Fisk. I'm sorry, but that's the best we've seen Fisk ever.
Except for season 2 when he fights Punisher and the prison stuff.
Okay.
That's pretty sick.
That is pretty sick.
He didn't fight Punisher. He just kind of beat the crap out of him because Punisher was already all wounded.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I mean, first of all, they made him vulnerable.
Yeah.
First away, they made him vulnerable, and they really showcased that with the painting.
Yeah.
And Deadshot, that was freaking, or not Deadshot,
Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Oh. Yeah.
They made Bullseye.
He was my favorite character.
He was
from it.
true to character.
Yeah.
He was really good.
I loved his self discovery of destroying himself and just becoming, accepting that he is this evil person, right?
Is it the backstory of Bullseye, or is he just kind of
Yeah, no, they go into that.
It is the transition of him into Bullseye.
Yeah.
Bullseye's always there in him, and he's been fighting the whole time. As you get his backstory, he's been fighting the whole time to suppress that and and conform to society and whatever. And you get to watch that tip the other way.
Does it make sense why he's fighting Daredevil specifically?
Oh yes.
Yeah. It becomes really personal, which is pretty cool. They do it.
Okay.
They do that really well.
Yeah.
And
how about when Daredevil helps him out? Well, not really helps him out. Helps himself out by helping him out.
Yeah.
That
Is
was
there any
so...
Punisher stuff?
No Punisher.
No Punisher stuff.
There's no other.
He's getting another season.
Side characters.
Punisher might be getting another season.
Yeah, nothing is set in stone.
Well, they've already filmed most of it, from what I've heard. So,
but they will not release a specific date yet.
that's true.
Yeah.
It'd suck if
and
they
it's
filmed
next
it all.
month. It's January. They said January, but they won't give us a date yet. You know what date? I think that means that somebody's in talks or something. Right? Something's going on there.
Which brings back my whole thing. You guys are talking about the 2-year thing with Netflix and all that.
Yeah.
There's no contract that can't be
5-year
fixed with money.
plan, Stalin.
Oh
did.
yeah. You think that if they pay him enough, they'll just
Dude,
whatever.
so if Disney comes out and says, you forked over enough of this, and we see that there's value in this, here's an extra X whatever.
Yeah.
And
Here's
Netflix will be
$10 million to shut up.
yeah, and Netflix will be like, okay.
We are not going to make them anyway.
Yeah.
What's the point of holding on to it for nothing?
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as they maybe get the rights to do the characters, but they get to keep showing the shows for 2 years. Did they get to show the shows forever on Netflix? Or did they lose the right after 2 years also? I don't know about that.
Don't know about that either.
Because I know
that
Disney
goes into
doesn't.
some weird copyright law.
Yeah, because I know Disney doesn't have the rights to those characters for 2 years. They can't make anything.
Yeah.
Any live action, anything with those characters for 2 years. But I don't know what it means for Netflix after 2 years. I would assume those always have a home on Netflix.
I can try.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird. I don't know what's going on with it all. That's kind of a weird thing.
So we've seen what they can do with CGI with Princess Leia and the Crow, even.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if they CGI him completely?
What do you mean? Netflix does?
No, Disney. Because it's not live action. No, they're completely animated.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. Just like a Hulk or something? Thanos?
Just a stupid loophole with it.
Yeah. That would be pretty funny. They just have him come in and do some motion capture. That's it.
No, they wouldn't even have to do that. It's just anybody can do the motion capture.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? He has a pretty distinct part under like his lip structure and everything's pretty distinct.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be pretty funny. Let's see. Do you have a favorite, Jack? What's your favorite show for the year?
Honestly, I can't even think of what shows I've watched this year. I feel like it's
I
just been.
got a pretty amazing runner-up though.
All
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I mean, like, really, it's just been more of like a time thing. Like, I got so burnt out with
because
just
he's
TV.
growing up again.
Yeah.
Well, with just TV in general.
So
after,
did you
like,
say that you watched
CW Flash that I couldn't like.
Oh, CW The Flash. There it is.
Okay.
Shut
The new season? Is that your favorite?
No, God no. I don't like. They're just so pointless, right? I mean, Game of Thrones hasn't come out, but I was pretty disappointed with the last season that did. I liked My Hero, but I don't know if that would really count. Like My Hero season 3, I think
My Hero is freaking awesome.
is just like was ridiculously amazing. Other than that, I haven't watched many movies or TV. I've just been playing games mostly. I have a lot to say about great games that I've played. Right?
That was like 2 episodes.
Yeah, well, you guys just talked about Red Dead. But pretty much, yeah.
Sure I heard
You want to
talk
do
a
real
lot.
quick your 3 games everybody should have played from this year? Now's your chance.
Yep.
Real quick.
God of War, Prey, Dishonored 2. Prey and Dishonored 2 didn't even come out this year, but they're still really good. Shout out to those games.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I can't really say anything about movies just because, or TV shows, because I haven't really like been watching many. And like, and there were so many Marvel shows that came out that I was just like I can't watch. Like after Defenders, I was like, no, I'm not gonna. But I'll probably watch Daredevil season 3.
It was pretty good.
Okay.
I think the whole set, all 3 seasons of Daredevil is pretty good. I think they're good as a whole.
Yeah, Daredevil by far and away the best.
Does it like how much does it reference the whole like fact that he died in
the first
Quite a
4
bit.
episodes are
Yeah.
totally all that.
Several episodes in the beginning.
Is it like boring though?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's not.
Does he have to like escape wherever?
Nope.
Oh, so he's immediately back in.
Okay, you watched kind of the end credit scene of how that went, right?
Yeah, he wakes up at a church.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
where
that's
it
where
picks
it
up.
starts at.
It starts right there.
Is it a church in New York? Because I was wondering
Yep.
if it was... Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was a church in, like, Mexico or something. And I'm like, how's he going to get out of here?
Yep, no.
Okay, well, that's good.
It'll instantly become really familiar if
Yeah.
you start watching it.
Okay, well then, yeah, maybe I'll have to actually watch Daredevil. Marcus, would you say that Daredevil's your favorite?
So I'm really, really torn here, right?
Okay.
90% of the ones I really enjoyed were Netflix shows this year.
Okay.
I really enjoyed Altered Carbon. I thought that was a pretty good show.
I enjoyed watching Altered Carbon. Okay, I did really enjoy watching Altered Carbon, but it's not a show that I have to see the next episode.
Yeah, no, I'm actually okay if there isn't another season or something, right? Like it was a great one-shot thing. I'm okay with it just being that. But again, Netflix. Norm Macdonald has a show. I've not seen anything from Norm Macdonald in so long, and when I watched this show with him, it's basically it might be almost as organized as our podcast, and it's a talk show that Norm Macdonald hosts, and it's hilarious. I completely recommend everybody to check it out.
What is it?
It's just Norm Macdonald has a show, and it's on Netflix. It's a talk
Okay.
show where, like, the first one is David Spade, and it shows them coming out from the back room.
I watched that episode.
Yeah, I remember we watched part of it. And
Dude, he was so clueless.
David Spade?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No, the guests don't even get it. And he keeps doing, like, commercial breaks in the middle of the show. But then they just sit there and banter. Like, on that one, David Spade, he's like, oh, it's, hold that thought, time for a commercial break. And then so they go to do that, and David Spade tells him a story. And he's like, what the hell? This is Netflix. There's no commercials. What are you doing? Like, you're messing with me. He's like, no, it's fine. We'll be right back in a minute. Like, yeah, tell me that story. And so he tells him this whole story. And then right as he's about to finish the story, he's like, and we're back. So anyway, Dave, you were telling me about this story. Would you tell that for the audience again? And he's like, you want me to tell, like, the same thing I just said? They just watched me say it. It's Netflix. It's like, no, that was a commercial break. And he just messes with his guests. It's awesome.
You guys would really,
I
really
was so
like
into it. The whole season was great.
the Eric Andre show. Have you ever heard of that? One of the let's see. One time he interviewed Jimmy Kimmel. I can't even describe it. This is just weird stuff he does. He was interviewing Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel was telling him a joke, and he laughed so hard that he's holding this tiny little teacup in his hand that he just shatters it, and he punches through his desk, and he sits down in his chair like all like this, and then his like interns pull out the desk really fast and just give him a new one. And the whole time Jimmy Kimmel's like, "What?" One time he was with Jack Black, and he's like, "Want to do some whippets, man?" And Jack Black's like, "What?" And then stuff like bird poop starts falling from the ceiling. And then people run out on the stage shooting guns and they're screaming. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is that the guests don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Usually they don't know that like who this guy is. And he just does like the craziest stuff. So if you like that and you want that like to the next level, that's basically what the Eric Andre show is.
This was pretty good. The best one of my favorite was David Letterman because he just leaves. He gets fed up with the show, and he's like, "I'm done." No, he like just takes off his mic and sets it down and leaves, and so then he sings this little song, and the show's over. It's like half as long as the other episodes.
Yeah, it happens all the time in Eric Andre because Eric Andre, I guess he interviews him for like 3 hours and just takes like the best parts. But yeah, some people just get up and leave.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
uncomfortable.
I haven't
love
seen
it.
Norm Macdonald in a long time. It was cool to
I'll
see
have
him.
to look that up.
Another one I really enjoyed, again, Netflix, which was new this year, was Ugly Delicious, which is this like kind of like a sort of a documentary sort of series about cooking and different influences from around the world, but done from a real casual perspective of one cook in general. I wish I could remember his name, but I thought it was really cool, just the cultural influences on cooking in America and what's happened with all that, and it's done from a real casual perspective. It's not too serious. Totally worth checking out. Lost in Space, I absolutely liked. I went into that very hesitant at the first few episodes. I was like, this is not really what I would think Lost in Space would be, but I'll kind of get on board. And then at the end of it, it kind of
what is
sums
Lost in
it.
Space?
You don't know what Lost in Space is?
Mm-mm.
Lost in Space is basically like we have to go out and venture out into new territory, and there's one of the families that's in the ships that basically gets lost in space. Is what ends up happening. It's their journey to get
Lost in
back
Space,
with
the
the
name of the
collection,
show.
right?
Get it?
Yeah,
Because they're lost in space.
and
Wow!
so that's what it's always
Really,
been.
Jack?
But in this one,
Don't you have to go somewhere?
yeah.
Oh, I have to go to work.
In
I
the
forgot.
in the Netflix Lost in Space, season 1 ends where everything else you know about Lost in Space would begin. So it's like a prequel to everything. And the whole time throughout the season, I kept thinking, this is a weird way to approach this. Like, what's happening with all this? And then as it got closer to the end of the season, I was like, is this going to be like a prequel? And then I think they'll get another season. It'll be more traditional Lost in Space. But I kind of liked that approach, right? It was different. It was kind of fresh and new. I thought that was worth checking out. We had Disenchantment. I'm still kind of iffy, but I've kind of rewatched a few and liked it.
I actually really like Disenchantment.
Like the more I watch it, the more I like it. It's kind of growing on me.
It's Matt Groening unrestrained.
Yeah, right? Totally. It's
the Kojima. And,
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like the Death Stranding of Matt Groening, right? The other one I really loved was The Big Mouth, which I got season 2 this year. I don't care what Jack says. It's hilarious to watch wieners and big balls. That's it. Bounce around and play basketball. It's really funny.
Hey, I'm Will Arnett.
I've not
kids.
seen it, so I can't comment
whole-
on
I
it.
can
the
describe
whole
it to you.
premise
I
of
can completely
Disenchantment-
describe it.
Is
Or I mean,
wieners and-
of Big Mouth is like just
Hey,
friends
kids.
in school, and they start to go through puberty. When you go through puberty, all the stupid decisions that your wiener makes for you come from this monster that's called the hormone monster.
There's not even any rules.
Who
in the
just
show. It's
pops
so
out.
inconsistent.
And when he pops out, you get a boner, and it's for no reason, right? And so he comes out, and then you have to deal with that and all these other stupid high school hormone things that go on.
Middle
It's
school.
awesome. Is it middle
It's
school?
gross. It's in middle school.
It's
He's like,
hilarious.
boner, 12-year-old kids. I'm like,
It's all about pubes
How
and
is this
boners
legal?
and periods, and like it's
God.
awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
it's totally worth
I think
checking
it's
out.
a high note for me to end
Super
on.
juvenile.
I gotta go to work.
Jack's out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack, for everything all this year. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
you can come
thank
back
you,
next
Jack.
year.
Whoa.
You will not be
Like, so
getting...
unhook them from around the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I didn't even notice that.
There
Don't
you go.
expect any sort of Christmas bonus or pay increase next year.
Nice.
Don't get your hopes up.
All right.
I guess other than Netflix, the only other things I have are Hulu.
Later, Jack.
Oh, nice. So I guess mine, I'm just going to write it in there. I'm just going to put Netflix because I really enjoyed Netflix.
All right.
It's like a Kirkland pack.
So as far as Netflix goes,
You want to keep going? I do want to mention real quick that I've also, of course, The 100 is phenomenal. Everybody should watch that show. That is my favorite show.
I tried watching the 100.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I've tried a couple of times, and I just can't.
Have you watched more than 3 episodes?
No.
You have to watch the 3 episodes. It just gets better and better. It's so good.
Okay.
The other one I've really been enjoying, which I never really knew about when I was younger, but Miami Vice is pretty solid. Been watching the crap out of that. It is basically an 80s music video. Like, there's times in the first episode, they play the whole Phil Collins In the Air of the Night song while they just drive in their Ferrari down the road. Mm-hmm. You get the whole song. There's one part where it gets a little quieter and he, like, calls his ex-wife and has this, like, whatever passionate, terribly cheesy Don Johnson conversation with her, but it doesn't miss a beat on the song. And then when they get to the destination, the song wraps up. Like it's like a music video from the 80s. I've really been enjoying it. I've watched it while I play Switch.
Okay, so it's background.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Okay,
for that.
gotcha.
It's
Okay,
really,
gotcha.
really good. I love it.
That puts in better context.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess that's it. Should we segue into other really good Netflix news?
Sure.
We'll wrap up basically with 2019 hopes, dreams, concerns, everything else. I think it's a good way to end the show.
Yeah. So what I watched Netflix for was basically, well, my runner-up for my show of the year stuff is Norseman, which is what Walter Beast introduced us to.
Yeah.
And
Which is also horrible.
it is so bad, but it is the closest to Monty Python I have found.
Yeah,
Since Monty
totally.
Python.
Yeah.
It is. It's Monty Python only done by Norwegians.
Yes.
And it's hilarious. It totally makes fun of the Viking era, but yet really tells a lot of their culture. Accurately tells a lot of their culture.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. But it's all done comedically. If you haven't seen it, you really got to check it out. It's
like a love it or hate it show.
It is a love it or hate it show, and it really hit my funny bone well.
It's so much better than The Ranch. You're never going to live that one down.
I don't hate the Ranch.
I know. That's why you'll never live it down.
Yeah, I know.
This is better than The Ranch.
It is. It is a million times better than the Ranch.
Yeah. Which isn't saying much, but it totally is.
But it is that garbage funny show that, and don't, to be fair, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but to be fair, Monty Python is that too.
Oh, yeah.
You
Totally.
know, and that's what I appreciate it for, is because of what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no qualms about it. They make no qualms about it. And I actually, because Walter Beast was so insistent about telling us this, they actually film every episode twice.
Really? And then they just like
Every
edit
single-
it together for whatever works
No.
best?
No. They film the first episode completely in Nordic, and then they film it again in English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So the
So
actors are...
There's no voiceovers or nothing. They've completely done this episode again.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually. I like that. Is that an option? Like, do you have to have, like, Nordic Netflix to watch the Nordic version?
I don't know. I've never tried changing languages, but
I have to see. I'm
have to
curious
look.
now. Try that. See if it's subtitled or is it actually
I can't
a whole...
anymore.
Oh, yeah, because you canceled. Because you got all butthurt about Marvel.
yeah, it pissed me off.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like I said, the two things I really watched on Netflix was all the Marvel movies, which are going to be going away soon.
Yeah, no matter what, they were going to leave.
Yeah, the Marvel movies. That's what I watched.
I think the last of them are on there now. Like,
Yeah.
they've got their last installment. There won't be any more.
Yeah, the Marvel movies, the Marvel shows, and some animes. And I've completed all the animes I watched on there. And then every time I try to watch a new one, it's freaking garbage.
Yeah.
And
It's another Devil Man.
yeah, it is. Every single one I've looked
That's
at.
my The Ranch. Is
Every
Devil
single
Man.
time I try to go watch it, I'm like, oh, hey, that preview looks amazing. I start to watch it like, okay, I gotta do the anime 3-episode thing. I get through the 3 episodes, it's garbage. I give it one more episode, it's still freaking garbage.
Sword Guy 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. So I was like, okay, that's what I use Netflix for.
Yeah.
You know, and I am not a religious TV watcher like you are.
Me and my wife watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
And most of it is streaming service stuff, but yeah.
But I'm saying I don't watch a lot of TV, and what I do watch it for was the stuff that's going away. And I'm like, I'm paying too much for other services already anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I had them all. I mean, I had Crunchyroll, Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu. And, I don't have Netflix anymore.
I think maybe this was also partially my year of becoming more of an adult too, because this year we made our own Netflix account. We are not piggybacking off of anybody else's account.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think in regards to would you say the big catalyst was the Marvel shows for you to get rid of Netflix?
That was the tipping point.
Yeah.
That was this is what it is. It's what's going away. Those were what were keeping me engaged.
Yeah. And so I did want to ask you because I think it affects you personally more than it does me. Do you put more fault on that on Marvel or on Netflix?
I think the whole Disney taking over everything is the biggest part of it.
Yeah, which unfortunately is Marvel now.
Yeah.
Right? And I know we mentioned...
I really think that is the core reason and core driving prospect. But the thing that keeps coming up in every article I've read about it is oh, well, viewership was down. Oh, yeah, we didn't have enough viewership. I'm like, well, yeah, but there was enough... I'm sorry, you guys have enough garbage shows that you keep renewing every year.
Yeah.
That are just complete, utter shit.
I just watched... My wife and her friend just had their pre-Christmas garbage romance movie fest. They watched it on Netflix. Half of those were Netflix original stuff, right? Like if they're going to keep churning out crap
what I'm saying is they cannot have more viewership for that shit than they have for this.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You know,
like how many people
and they keep making more of that.
Yeah.
And they keep renewing that. If they're renewing that, it has to be Marvel. There's no way. It has to be Marvel, otherwise that's not. I can see the Iron Fist one. The viewership being down for that, because the first season for Iron Fist was garbage. Second season was great until the last episode.
Yeah.
That last episode just it killed the entire series.
It did have way more potential. And even Iron Fist in the Luke Cage season, way more potential.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like it started to come around. I was getting hopeful for what was going to happen.
And like I said, Luke Cage, I loved Luke Cage. Luke Cage was awesome.
Even when we got the first announcement that they were getting canceled, my initial reaction was, we're going to get Heroes for Hire. Like, that has to be what's going on.
That's
right?
exactly what I thought. Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, and based on that new Luke Cage season, where that episode with them both, I was like, this is gold. Like, this is what I want. I want this dynamic. And then suddenly it's just not coming back.
Yep.
They got that.
Yeah, this is going to be Heroes for Hire. And then we thought, oh, then that means we're going to do the, what was it? The Misty Knight and Jessica Jones.
Oh, yeah. Daughters of the Dragon.
Yeah, Daughters of the Dragon. It would be Daughters of the Dragon and then Heroes for Hire. Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. And I think they would work incredibly well together.
Yeah.
And nope, not happening. And like once that just became a reality, and I'm sorry, Daredevil's canceling was it. It was like,
oh, I think it totally solidifies too that we might not get Punisher season 2. Like
I'll never know.
I don't think that won't be a shock to me if that gets announced. Like even though they filmed everything and everything's ready to go, there's something going on between Disney and Netflix that is causing a level of tension to where somebody is just saying we're done with it, right? And I think once you get to that point in any sort of a relationship, it's almost better to just end it, right? Like, don't put the kids through it, which is us, the nerdy fans. Just get the divorce, and we'll have 2 Christmases.
Yeah,
maybe, right? Like, who knows? I don't know what else they can do with it. I don't know if it's more. I think they're probably both guilty parties.
You're absolutely right. You'll get way more romance shows.
Right? Yeah, more Christmas romance
and
shows.
Another season of The Ranch.
Probably. Thanks. I'm stoked for that. You're gonna come over to my house and watch that, huh? Dude, bro, what are you doing tonight? New season of Ranch is out. You're bringing beer.
Okay. Deal.
I do think it's kind of I think next year in general is going to be weird year for streaming services. I think there's going to be a lot more contenders in the in that market that are going to be relevant contenders.
I think it's clear though that streaming is the way to go.
Oh, for sure.
That's the way the technology is going. That's the way TV's going.
Yeah.
I mean, PlayStation's put their bid into it, or I should say, Sony's put their bid into it through PlayStation. Disney's buying it up. Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, Crunchyroll, Crackle. There's a bunch of different ones. All of your major networks have their own streaming.
Yeah.
Which most of them are garbage. But
well, and I think that, I mean, in a way, that kind of speaks to the Switch's popularity, where we're not the generation of couch play anymore, right? We just aren't. We're the generation of, I always have a screen on me, and when I want to kill time, I want to be able to do it looking at this screen with or interacting with it in any way I prefer, and which is streaming services. I can't watch my cable TV on my phone. You can with like some direct TVs and stuff, but even still, I think again that's encouraging that streaming service. Why would I pay for that when I can just get a streaming service that has that plus more?
So what you bring that up, season 2 of Daredevil was when I was on my light duty at work for the first time.
Yeah.
They put me into a job where I'm checking out toolboxes. So I check out toolboxes. That takes 10 minutes at the beginning of shift. And then I have to check them in at the end of shift, which is half an hour before end of shift.
Yeah.
Which means I've got 6 hours and 40 minutes to kill.
Yeah, to watch 6 episodes.
Because there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched Daredevil on my phone.
Yeah.
Which was my second screen. So I mean, I watched it all on my phone.
Well, I think, like we said about the gaming, it's a whole nother generation of systems coming out. I want our generation to still be represented in a lot of this nerd stuff, and so I don't want that part to go away. But I think that part of it is going to have to be that we have to embrace the kind of this next generation of things going.
I want to embrace it. One thing that I do want to see from the next generation is tangible media.
Ooh, you want us to go backwards, huh?
I want to keep it. I want to keep a disc. Or with the Switch, I want to keep a little cartridge. I want something.
Yeah. I've been keeping cartridges for my Switch, especially since they announced their 2.0 thing, because that makes, if I have all digital media on my Switch, the value of me selling that maybe to get a 2.0, it's suddenly not worth anything. With my 8 cartridge games plus my Switch, it's like a couple $100 more value. Right?
So I was stuck home, and I was really buying into the digital media thing for a while there. I couldn't go anywhere. I was laid up. I purchased and downloaded, I can't remember how many games, a bunch of games. PlayStation had a sale. I bought a bunch of stuff. Some of it was garbage. A lot of it was garbage. But I got a bunch of games and a bunch of stuff, and it's all digital. It's all downloaded to my account. I have that forever, no matter what PlayStation I go with or whatever.
Yeah.
But I upgraded to the PS4 Pro. And I sold my PS4 Pro to a friend of ours, mutual friend. And when I sold it to him, I was like, hey, dude, yeah, you can, I'll sell this to you, and you can take any 2 games that I have in my collection with it.
Yeah.
You know, just make your choice. What do you want? And it was severely limited because I had a whole bunch of stuff that he would have actually really enjoyed, but stuff that I didn't care about as much because I'm just not that kind of gamer.
Yeah.
And it was digital media. You can't sell it. You can't transfer it.
Yeah. And PlayStation's the worst because this year I got a Pro, and we have our old system.
Oh, you got a Pro now?
Yeah. So I have the Pro, and we have.
That's right, you did.
Remember, you had the Red Dead one. Remember we talked. It is way quieter. That's the best. That's the biggest perk to it, and it does look better, and it runs Red Dead better. But it was the biggest hurdle to be able to make it so that my wife could just watch streaming stuff in the bedroom while I played the Pro in the living room, because it will not let me activate both accounts. I had to create a separate account for my wife and then re-sign in with all of our Hulu stuff and everything, which I'm pretty sure...
Now you have 2 devices on
there. That's like 2 devices, even though we're in the same household, right? Like where if we're watching it together, she can then we just use my account in the bedroom, right? Then it's only 1 device ever. So PlayStation makes that a real bitch. It really does when it comes to that kind of thing. All their digital stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She can in there play any disc game I have and have access to all those files.
Which there again, there's tangible media is better for you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's kind of the next system has to allow that still. Right. It has to. They can't get rid of that slot. I don't know. We're getting closer and closer. And I think with the dominance of the streaming service, which I think is going to be huge next year, that does make that more of a reality, which again speaks to our generation of the tangible media. We're kind of getting out of
but I'm
the
just saying
range
that's
of
the one thing that you're talking about embracing, and then our generation, we need to keep it. We need to have tangible media.
Yeah. I think I actually read this article too about the Switch where they were saying how like PlayStation games will be able to drop in price as far as tangible. Like you'll be able to go get the disc for the same price as the digital because they're just discs.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the up cost of making a cartridge for the Nintendo, especially because different games are different sizes, they require different discs, right? When it's a PlayStation game, it doesn't matter the size of the game. They just don't use that on the disc.
Yeah.
They all get the same disc, right?
Yeah, a disc is 10 gigs or whatever it is. That
Whereas when it's a
however many
cartridge,
gigs.
it's more like buying a flash drive where you get your 1 gig flash drive.
Well, yeah, you got a 16 gig, 32 gig.
Yeah, it's that same kind of thing for the cartridges. The more the memory, the more it costs to now mass produce that cartridge.
And some of those big SD cards for $100.
Yeah, they were saying how that, like, it's cool that Nintendo did that, but in a way that could kind of bite them in the ass because of that aspect of it.
But okay, no, here's my rebuttal to that. Is okay, so you're doing that, but that is driving the demand for that media, which is going to increase the production of it. And so once they have production to match the demand, and eventually demand's going to drop, or match, but as production comes up to meet it, price is going to drop on it because it's going to be cheaper to produce now because they have the production to match.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a tough call, huh?
If everybody went to that, it's going to all of a sudden become this cheapest thing in the world.
Yeah. I don't know if that'll happen with the Switch, but maybe.
No, but you know what I'm saying, though.
Totally.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Okay, I want to wrap up, but I need to grab one more beer.
Okay.
Can you banter for like 2 minutes? I'll be right back.
I can do the shopping song for like Mallrats.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, anyway, no. Hi guys. How are you guys doing today? Yeah, whatever. No, I don't know, rate, subscribe, tell us what you think about it. We need to get you guys more involved anyway. But, yeah. This is keeping conversation going is not my thing. I'm more of a reactionary person. Anyway, why is he going in there? We have a brown ale right here. Dude, drink a warm one. Yeah, he's not responding. Anyway, thank you for sticking with us, guys. Come with us next year. We've got a lot of new stuff exciting going to happen. It's going to be awesome.
Nice. I'm glad that you did that while I was gone, because that's basically what I was going to do when I got back.
What?
Thank all the people again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really, because, I mean, you know.
I was like, hey, this is awkward. This is me here. I don't do it. I'm more of a reactionary person, not a driving person. Yeah. It was kind of awkward.
Welcome to hosting. Yeah. Sorry, I tried to be quick. I went in there and I was like, I've had that much beer, but I forgot there's a warm one on the table.
Yeah, did you not hear me? Dude, just drink the warm one.
I don't want the warm one. I don't like browns usually anyway. This one's getting better, though, with each one. Let me tell you. So the warm is probably fine now.
Holly also enjoyed our little sprint to the garage.
Yeah, she's exhausted. She's laying down over here.
I know. She's so old, dude.
She's eating the carpet.
We will do like this in remembrance of producer Holly, little montage.
Oh my god.
When she's gone. It's going to be sad.
It's going to make me cry.
Yeah.
It'll be sad. You might have to host.
Are we going to have to get Mariah Carey to write a song for it?
That would be awesome. I'm into it. Should we just have what is it?
Little angels.
Yeah, I will remember you. Who is that? That's not Mariah Carey. I can't remember. I heard the chick that did that song for the like adopt animals, whatever. They said, "Hey, can we use one of your songs?" She was like, "I love animals. Yes, like totally. Anything I can do to support these lost animals." And then when she saw the commercial, she was like, "Oh my god, I can't ever. That song is ruined for me. You've ruined my own song." Like she is not a fan of it either. Like she loves that it supports their cause, but it's like I didn't know they were going to ruin my own song for me. I thought that was pretty funny. It was great.
Alrighty.
Well,
Where were we?
Big thanks to everybody.
Yes, we were. Big thanks to everybody.
Lots of big stuff in 2019.
Yep. Got a couple collaborations we're working on.
Yep. I think we have something brand new that we're going to try to figure out how to segue that into like a stupid mythic. Micketh. Yeah, like, Micketh is my favorite. Change the name to that, Mick. And again, why not? Just do it again. And Nerdbuzz kind of collaboration thing that we're working on.
And don't forget the Mead Master himself is going to be involved in it.
Yep. One of our favorite guests to always have because he keeps it old school and brings some booze with him, which is one of our favorite things. And I know we've already said it on every episode, but we really do mean it. Really thank you so much to everybody that keeps us going. You keep watching. We'll keep doing it. I know Dad, he actually sent me a message and wanted to know how long we were going to keep doing it because he would really enjoy maybe meeting us at some point someday. So if you keep watching.
If you make it out here, you meet us, we will put you on this show right next to us.
Yeah, you can sit next to us.
We will give you so much crap.
Yes, but to your face. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we'll go Jack level.
No, Jack is a level of his own.
Yeah, he is.
Only Jack can be Jack level.
Yeah, and it increases every day
Yes.
with his head.
The more hot air that gets in there, the higher it rises. It's a never-ending battle with that guy. But
don't tell us, but I love the guy.
yeah, we do. He's not here, so we can actually be honest about it. And we do, like, so beyond what I can express, appreciate Jack showing up every week to be over there and run the soundboard and hit the explosions, even though he misses them, even though he messes up shows. He really is phenomenal.
20 minutes of this one?
Yeah, right. He really is like a crucial part of the show, though, and we really do appreciate him putting up with the old farts and letting us give him a hard time. We rag on him every episode, but we really do love the guy, and we would never say that if he's here.
No.
So don't tell him we said that. But we almost love him as much as all you guys that help promote the show. So go hang out with your families, have a kick-ass New Year, a really awesome Christmas, and we will see everybody next year.
Yep.
Keep watching, and to all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Nice. Are you gonna sing us out, Jay?
I'm out and bird. Learn about nerd culture. You're on Nerdbuzz.
Talking about beer.
Marcus and
Talking about
Jeremiah.
nerd culture. You're on Nerdbuzzed. Marcus and Jeremiah. You're on Nerdbuzzed. Let's get Nerdbuzzed.